Hey everyone, this is Shaun of the Dead back. I am pulling my buddy here, 2C2 from the Eunice 2C2 channel. Make sure you chime in on his and check out his stuff and subscribe. We're going to go through the whole poll that I did at the Zombie Apocalypse Expo with my boy here, 2C2. All right, first question is, which do you think is better for a zombie apocalypse, 9mm, 40, or 45 ACP?
I'd have to go with the 45 ACP.
And why would you pick that one?
I've always thought bigger is better. Definitely a bigger round, a lot more kinetic energy, a lot more knockdown power.
Sounds good. That's been pretty popular round. It tied with a 9mm, 4 and 4. The 40 cal come in at 3 votes out of 11. Number 2, in a zombie apocalypse, what would you prefer, an AK-47 or an AR-15?
I'd definitely have to go with an AR-15.
And why would you pick that one over an AK?
It's a little more popular here in the States, more parts, more accessories for it. I own one already, so I've already got my zombie apocalypse rifle.
Well, you can't beat what you already have in your pocket, or in your closet, rather. Even though I don't have an AK-47, I personally chose that because of the durability factor, but I have 2 ARs, and I chose an AK, which is completely idiotic, I know.
In a perfect world, I'd probably have both. So.
Yeah. And any weapon in general in a zombie apocalypse, what would be your preferred weapon, no matter what it is?
Well, I'd have to say probably my first choice would be the AR, again, for all the reasons I mentioned before, but I tell you, a good Ruger 1022 with a nice scope on it, just like this one here, I think would be perfect. You know, it's sure it's a 22, but you know, shot placement, shoot a zombie in the head, they're going to go down. You don't need anything more than this. Carry a lot of ammo for the weight, and it's easy to get and it's cheap to get.
All right, sounds good. That's one of my personal favorites. All right, what is yours zombie survival plan?
Definitely would be a bug in, then bug out, stay home at the beginning, kind of let the zombies, you know, weed themselves out, and then after it's died down a little bit, and everyone else is no longer trying to get out of town, then's the time to get out.
All right, so bug in, then bug out. All right, now, just handguns in general, not necessarily for a zombie attack, but what's your preferred caliber and your preferred platform?
Preferred caliber and platform would be a Glock Model 30 45 ACP, which is my concealed carry weapon.
Outstanding. And rifle, caliber, and platform?
Rifle, caliber, and platform, again, AR-15 is probably my preferred.
So going to the dual-purpose 5.56 223 on AR-15.
Yeah, I think my dream weapon would probably be M1 Grand 30-06. Now that would be nice.
M1 Grand, yeah, you can't beat those either. All right. Well, what about a BOV, your bug-out vehicle of choice for a zombie attack?
BOV. Actually, I owned one at one time, but sold it. I would like to get a Ford Bronco any year from the time they started making it in the 60s up until about maybe a 72 at the oldest. It's a lot of parts, you know, easy to get replacement parts. It's a simple vehicle, no electronic ignition or anything. It's carburetor and points, tough as nails.
All right, sounds good. And the last question on the poll is, where is the best place to make your zombie apocalypse stronghold, your base of operation?
You know, I would probably go for an island. Fortunately, there's none really close by where I'm at here in Texas. Probably the second best thing would be to get a good sailboat, something that you could live on and get out in the water. You know, I don't think zombies can swim too well, so if you can put yourself in a position like that where you're protected on all sides by water, I think that would be the best way to go.
Awesome. Well, since you're one of my collaborators and all this kind of stuff about everything that is zombie, and you're one of my buddies on the side anyway. Any 2 cents worth that you want to give people just for zombie apocalypse survival in general, just any nuggets of information, little tidbits of knowledge you want to kind of pitch their way, just to kind of throw it out there. I mean, I give you the basic poll that everyone has, but put your own personal spin on what you think people should be mostly aware of, and just nuggets of goodness to give them.
I'll tell you, whether it's zombie apocalypse, pandemic, or any other situation where you're going to need to bug in or bug out, be prepared. A lot of the preparation's the same, regardless. Be aware. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Watch the news. Know what's happening, so that you know when everybody else does, and maybe before a lot of people that aren't paying attention. Have a plan. Definitely have friends that are involved in the plan. It's a lot easier to make it with friends than it is to make it by yourself. We've talked before about simple things like guard duty. If you're by yourself and you're trying to make it, you got to sleep sometime. If you've got a buddy with you, or 2 or 3 or more, there's strength in numbers. It's an old saying. It's true. Somebody can watch your back. You can watch theirs. They can help you. You can help them. I think that's the biggest thing. I've watched some of these shows. The prepper show that's on National Geographic now, and some of them talk about that. They talk about their support system, but a lot of them seem like they're loners. And I tell you, the loners, in my opinion, aren't usually going to make it that long. I mean, some of them might, but numbers. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, when I was at the expo, one of the guys in particular said something about he was okay with taking his family only and bugging out. He didn't want to be anywhere near a bunch of people because too many chiefs, not enough Indians, kind of persona. He didn't want to have that kind of a feel where there's just too many cooks spoil the pot. And I can understand that to a point, but I agree with you pretty well from a basic fundamental on of at least you have to have a unit. You can't. I mean, if it's just like you and a family, just like you, your wife, and your kids. Okay, well that's great and all, and you can trust your family. But again, it's hard for you to keep have your wife to watch guard, and watch the kids, and while one of you sleeps, and then the other one's trying to do guard and watch the kids, and well the other one sleeps, and that's just a lot for 2 people to do, especially with children. And fact of the matter is, there's a lot of children out, that people have. So, you gotta take care of your children. So I agree with you whenever it comes to at least you have to have your support group. If you have a group of 4 or 5 families, it's going to be pretty well understood if they're already like-minded friends like ourselves. It's not too many cooks to spoil the porridge type of a scenario, in my opinion. Because there's enough of us that we can rely on each other, help each other out, but there's still few enough of us, and there's not a bunch of newcomers in that would, be clashing with our personalities and try to butt heads with us, and I think that that's what he was concerned about, but, I think that, he has to get a few more friends, perhaps, that think like he does and has a plan. I mean,
it has to be people and you trust and you get along with, in normal situations. I can see where he's coming from too. You got a lot of alpha males. There's going to be a lot of guys that want to be the leader, or a lot of people that want to be the leader. Like you said, just numbers aren't necessarily good numbers. You want, one way to put it, combat effective numbers. How many people can you put out there that can use a rifle, use a pistol, use something, sure, you want people that can do other jobs, support jobs as well. Every job's important, whether it's cooking, cleaning, first aid, and whatnot. But you definitely want to make sure you have enough people that can carry your weapon, know how to use it, know when to use it. So I agree with you there too. But yeah, you got to have friends, people you trust. You can't just, group up with people you've never worked with before and expect it to go easy. And maybe that's what he's talking about. He wouldn't want to, just come across someone. But at that point, it's too late. If you don't have your support system in place, you don't have people that you already know you can go to and work with, it's too late, you're gonna have to take what you can get or try to make it on your own. And like I said, I don't think you'll do as well. The odds are against you if you try to make it on your own.
All right. So just a quick synopsis of your jewels of knowledge is be alert. So pay attention to the signs of potential danger by paying attention to the news and current events, and preparing yourself in advance of storing food, water, enough firearms to protect you and your family in case there's a riot or looters or zombies or whatever the case is. And then last is already have your support network in place, and meeting locations, whatever. Have your group to have your evac survival plan in general. I honestly, I mean, if you do those things, I mean, everything else falls into place, really.
Oh, yeah. And I can give you a quick example of, being aware of what's going on and how it helps. Hurricane Katrina. I was living in Houston at the time, and we were paying attention to the news, knew what was getting ready to happen. I actually made it out, managed to get gasoline before the lines started getting long and the gas stations started running out of gas because everyone made a run on the gas stations, which in turn allowed us to have the gas to get out of town. We knew the back roads. We didn't take the freeway. We didn't get stuck on I-45. I think it was Katrina. It might have been another hurricane. I can't remember now. It's been a while. But, just little things like that. Knowing your surroundings, it's like anything. You walk out the door, be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to what's going on around you. People who usually get mugged are people who are busy talking on their cell phone or not paying attention, and they don't see the person that comes up behind them and hits them over the head and takes their money, or worse. It's just always be aware.
All right, sounds good. So be aware. I sure appreciate you taking my poll and passing out some nuggets of information. And again, this is Shaun of the Dead, and I'm here with 2C2. Remember, as always, respond. I want